this example here, we need to analyze this sequence a bit so we can find the second and third terms as it's indicating. What are the second, third, and third terms of this geometric sequence? We can see the first term is 2. We have 2 missing terms, and we can see the fourth term is negative 54. So the main idea here is we're going to have to figure out that common ratio. Once we figure out that common ratio, we can just take 2, multiply it by that common ratio to get this next term, and then we can take that term and multiply it by that common ratio to get the following term. And if we took that term and multiplied it by the common ratio one more time, we should hopefully end up with negative 54. So let's go ahead and try to use the explicit formula for this. If we tried to write an explicit formula for this, we would have a sub n is equal to a sub 1, which is 2, times the common ratio r, which I don't currently know, to the n minus 1 power. So there's what I have so far. What I can actually do is I can use this term here that I know, this negative 54 being the fourth term. I can plug in a sub n as negative 54, and n would be 4 that goes along with that, and I could solve for r. So if I do that, if I have negative 54 equals 2 times r to the 4 minus 1, that leaves me with negative 54 is equal to 2r to the third power. If I want to go ahead and solve that for r, that requires 2 steps. I need to divide both sides by 2, and I'll have negative 27 is equal to r cubed. And then finally, I'll take the cubed root of both sides to get r by itself. And the cubed root of negative 27 is negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9 times another negative 3 is negative 27. So I've actually done a little bit of algebra to solve for my common ratio. Now that I know my common ratio is negative 3, I can use that to fill in these 2 blanks. I take 2 times that common ratio of negative 3, and I get negative 6. And then I take that negative 6 times this common ratio of negative 3, and I should get positive 18. And just to check and make sure I'm doing this correctly, if I were to take negative 18 and multiply it by negative 3, I should end up with negative 54. And in fact, I do. So I've analyzed this sequence a little bit. I figured out the common ratio by using the existing terms that I knew. And then once I had the common ratio, I used it to fill in the missing values.